You're gonna love this one. Correctional work can be maddening, aggravating, and at times downright infuriating. Tempers flare, egos collide, arguments ensue. So how can a guy or a lady or a person maintain their composure inside? How can correctional staff control their anger in the face of extreme stress and emotional strain? When we come back, I'll try to explain.
All right, yeah, hey, yeah.
Before I begin, I want to say thank you to the members of the Just Corrections Patreon community. Thank you for supporting the channel. This is a thing, like an important thing, to be able to handle your emotions, to be able to control them, to react in the opposite manner that every fiber in your being wants to react. It's tough, bro. But honestly, that's one of the things that separates us from other people. The ability to go from 0 to 60, to engage, to stop the threat, and then to stop again. But before we get into that, we need to know how to control our anger. Now, I'm not going to act all holier than thou because I have lost my shit on several occasions, but we're going to learn from my mistakes here. Flipping out, getting into a back and forth is pointless. Once an inmate gets under your skin, they win. It's like sharks feeding on those little tiny fish that sharks are always feeding on. They swarm, ruthlessly and relentlessly. The first thing that you need to know is that nothing is personal. Do not take anything personal. Inmates don't know you or your history or your family, they're just fishing. So being called fat isn't personal. Okay, that's an obvious one. But name calling, taking shots at your size or your build or your sexual orientation will all happen. Race? Yep. All of that. They're just looking to get you fired up so you step out of your professional face and act out a policy. Here's an example. I was working with another officer in our seg unit, and he started getting into it with an inmate because that inmate said something about his dad. This particular inmate has a reputation for ruffling feathers, and so that's what he was doing. So then the officer opens up the door, and he's on one side of the threshold, and the inmate's on the other side of the threshold, and they start screaming at each other back and forth, daring the other person to do something. And neither would because they both knew the consequences. So I walked over there to see what was happening, and I asked the other officer, my partner, what he had said. So he told me that the inmate made a derogatory comment about the sexual orientation of this guy's dad who just so happened to be dead. So I asked my partner, I say, does he know your dad? And he says no. So I said, who cares? Shut the door. See, my partner was worked up because he was grieving the loss of his father, and the comments from the inmate got him a little spun up, which is probably a normal reaction. However, it can't be for us. So here's what we do. Understand that it's not personal, it's just part of their game. They don't actually know us unless we've accidentally given them some information at some point through a conversation that they're going to use against us later. But they don't know us, and honestly, how lame is it to make a joke like that? It's easy to make comments about your kids or your wife or your family or whatever, but who cares? If you feel like those things will trigger you, then we have some work to do. Inmates are going to threaten your life, your children's lives. They're going to make disgusting comments about everything that they think that you hold dear. I remember a guy came out of the shower one time and told me that he just jerked off. Can I even say jerked off? The guy came out of the shower and said that he had just jerked off and he was thinking about my wife when he did it. Now, I could have flipped out because that's a pretty messed up thing to say, but I didn't. He doesn't know what my wife looks like. He doesn't even know if I was married or not, so who cares? I, of course, dealt with the comments in a professional manner, suggesting that any further comments like that would not be tolerated. But I didn't care. Who cares? This guy's intention was to get me riled up. The plan didn't work because I don't care. So here's what I do. Number one, consider the source. Does the opinion of the person insulting you matter? If the answer is no, then who cares? And if the answer is yes, well, it still doesn't help to wig out. Sometimes some of those comments do get me worked up, so when I feel myself getting pissed off, I slow shit down a little bit. I take a breath, count to 10 or whatever. I take a breath and then I consider all of the incidents that have led up to this interaction. And most times I figure out that it's not really me that they're angry at. It's the situation, the system. It's a lifetime of adversity, bad decisions, and disappointment that led to the outburst. This guy's not really calling you fat because he hates you personally. They're saying those things because of the situation they're in. Don't let him get under your skin. So just breathe, slow it down, consider the source, and when you do respond, do so in a professional manner. Nothing that they can say to you is worth getting in trouble or getting fired or worse, getting charged. Trust me, it's tough. It's hard to control yourself. But you're a professional, and in this situation, you hold all the cards. If you liked this video, if you found value in this video, straight punch that little like icon. Comment and share this content with anyone and everyone that you think may be interested. And if you're craving more premium correctional content, check out this video right here. Or this video right here. All right, guys, that's all I got until next time. Be smart, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll talk soon.